Well, by the way, this is the comedy, so I don't know if you caught that. Are you guys ready for next comedian?
You guys ready for next comic?
Yeah! Can you believe we have another comic? Can we start clapping this?
Let's get this fucking show going.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next comic, another good friend of mine performs right next city. You probably know him from the Chelsea Film Festival. The front page of Funnyordie.
Seth Meyers podcast.
Just got rid of the Vulture.
This is my guy, and he's gonna give a big, oh my God. Forgot the last name. Sheftel. Give it up for him.
Let's give it up for the very funny Jeremy Schaftel! Keep it going for that anti-Semite. Keep going. Thanks for coming to this haunted gay Russian bathhouse on your Monday evening.
Thanks for coming to this public high school cafeteria on your Friday night.
Thanks, guys, for coming out to this gay magician's living room at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I'm not a comedian. Just here to raise money for yearbook right now. That's all that I'm doing.
I love performing in this room. Every time I'm here, I feel like, doesn't the stage look like... Doesn't it look like the set of a porno that takes place at a struggling inner-city high school's musical theater program? I feel like a delivery guy is going to come through that door, and then me and the rest of the cast of Fiddler on the Roof aren't going to be able to pay for the pizza. Like, there's all these stains, like I'm pretty sure this stain is not a comedy stain. Thanks for risking your lives to be here tonight. You know, not all heroes wear surgical masks.
Thank you, clap in the front. I don't know, I gotta start raising some money. This is true, every dollar I have, everything I make, it's all tied up in student loans from college. It's not something you woo at.
It's not funny. It's not. I spent all my money on education, and I'm not even smart enough to get some of it back. Right? Like, they never made me smart.
So where is my goddamn refund?
I actually called my college and I asked them for a refund. This is true. I wanted to see what would happen. I put them on blast too. I was like, why are you punishing people trying to learn? And he was like, well, I hope you learned something about trying to learn something. And then he hung up on me. I know, I was shocked too. I looked down at my phone and it turns out that I had called my father. Guys are assholes. Still not paying for college.
So I'm single because I suck at investing in my future. And
I don't know if any single people here in this room have experienced this, but like these two guys in the front. I like how, if you could see how they look, you would know that they did not need to raise their hand when I asked who was single.
So anyways, like at some point for me, Tinder stopped being a dating app and just became a really awesome picture book of lonely people.
Right? When you take away the matching Bumble, J-Sweat, Coffee Meets Bagel, you know, they're really just great Kindle books for the horny and illiterate. That's why when you finally match with somebody, they never message you words. They'd send you fingernails being polished, a ballerina, and a picture of the sun crying. Like, I've seen so many dumb hieroglyphics at this point, I feel like I'm just trying to fuck Egyptians with learning disabilities.
this is true. I saw a real dating profile the other day, and all it said was, seeking someone who talks, but also listens.
I think she might be running out of options, guys. I don't think there's any more filters left in that Google search. Because like you all know, she could have just written seeking someone who eats but also shits. Would have been the exact same thing. She's just like, well, I'm looking for someone who's my father, but also, you know, anyone else's father. I'm not looking for Mr. Right. I'm just looking for Mr. Alright?
Thank you, Sunday night.
Thank you, Rabbi. Good to have you here. What do you think? It's my counsel. I think I'd probably have better luck dating if I started like bulking out, working out, right? If you got like a Fitbit, is that what people do?
That's it.
Do you guys all know what the Fitbit is? You guys know what that is?
Hey, you know, it's that stupid thing on your wrist that tells you you're walking? Yeah, the Fitbit to me is the perfect marriage between fitness and self-importance. Finally, a chance to give Americans credit for every step they take.
Somebody really said this to me. Well, I walked 3,000 steps today. I'm like, everybody walks 3,000 steps every day, Karen. Right? That's the average amount. You just did the job of a human being who may not even have a job.
I feel like they should just like make a Fitbit that tracks how often everyone talks about their fucking Fitbit. Like, if they're not gonna work out, they can at least exercise some humility, right? I think it'd be good for them.
Yeah, I think that would be good for them. Yeah, clap it up for me. I'm amazing. I'm the best comedian in this fucking comedy club. And then I bob.
And by them, I just mean white people, by the way. I just want to clarify that. Just make fun of whiteies on stage. Because, like, white people, like, you know, like, we're definitely the least humble. You know how I know this? Only white people hold grudges against food. This is true. A white guy once really said this to me. I have to leave. That burrito did not agree with me.
How dare he? That Mexican burrito. Yeah, if you're white, guess what? Your stomach is racist.
Because white people only disagree with the foreign foods. Chinese food, Mexican food, Indian food. Hey, how'd you get food poisoning? Bad Chinese. Some bad Chinese did this to me.
We blame the Chinese. Not even the dish.
We don't blame General Chow, right? He was just following orders. Not like a certain burrito who shall remain Mexican. My white person food grudge is with pizza. I love the taste. I just hate the ain't shitness of pizza.
You know, because it's the only food you get for free forever, all right? Parents, teachers, people with more money than you will always buy you pizza. You want to know why?
Because you ain't shit to them. And if you swallow that pizza, you agreed. My boss buys me pizza like he paid for my mom's surgery. He's like, I bet you never had one of these before. You know, this is a delicacy among bums, addicts, and losers. I know how much this means to your peoples.
You ever wonder why you're getting pizza for working late?
Well, stop wondering, you ain't shit. Hey, how about that raise? How about some pizza? Yeah, that ought to shut your pie hole.
You're gonna like this one girl who's talking on stage, 3 feet away from my ear.
And calm down back there. What are you doing? This is an auction? What's going on over there?
He forgot my cheese.
Thank you. Thanks for blowing up my spot.
Guys, I want you to know that this interruption your comedy show was brought to you by a combination of Alzheimer's and cheese.
Speaking of messes, you guys excited for Valentine's Day next week? Liars.
Valentine's Day is awful. This is, I learned this. This is a true statistic. People are more than twice as likely to break up on Valentine's Day than any other day of the year.
You want to know why? Cheap. No, close. It's because it's a test day. That's right, Valentine's Day is for women to test a man's level of commitment in a relationship.
And that's great. Yeah, you should clap. That's fine. That's great. The problem is,
Men are idiots. All right, and we don't treat it like a test. We treat it like a video game. We're thinking, how do I beat
The dinner reservation level to get to the pussy boss battle. Well, I don't have any more coins left. She kept casting Bacardi soda potions. I don't think I can afford this mission. You know what? I think I'm gonna go out on a side quest and pick up a prostitute. Probably use the experience points. I've actually been racking up some experience points. That's true. I just went out on a first date. Yeah. Thank you, some of you. Yeah. We got drinks because that's how single people approach learning. And I'm a giver. So I asked my date if she'd like to try my drink. And she says, I don't know, did you roofie it? It's my own drink. So I say, of course, how else am I going to know if you can take care of me? So I hand her my beer and collapse on top of her. No, but can we make that speed dating?
You know, no questions, just immediately put them in crisis.
Because you'll learn everything you need to know right away. That's why I envy the peanut allergy people. Right? Like, I don't want to discuss children until I go into anaphylactic shock. If you can find my emergency contact in my unconscious body, then I can find out why you hate your dad. Right? Back side of the room hates their dad.
that's why I love Netflix. I feel like Netflix was invented for single losers like me.
Because Netflix makes you feel like a hot girl on a dating app. Like, I don't even know what's going on in most of the pictures, but I'm rejecting everybody. I'm like, that one's too foreign. Nah, that one's got kids in it. Not sure if they're a comedian, but I want something more serious. And then when I'm finally with something that feels right, I'm gonna leave early for no reason. Just gonna bail. You know what it is? I think dating's always been like television. It was easy when you only had 3 options. Yeah, my grandparents, they've been married for 60 years. Woo! Might want to hold on to that woo. Right? They got together just because their high school didn't have Jews. There's no J-swipe, there's no J-date. They had one Shabbat dinner to figure everything out. Imagine swiping twice on a dating app and already running out of singles in your area. You have any idea how hard it is to run out of singles on a dating app now, and it still happens? I've done that. I'm shocked that I can still donate sperm. Well, that'd be like the first question of every sperm donor application. Just like, has your genetic tissue ever been rejected by an entire city? Really? Wow. You don't even need to go in the lab. That's a hell of a consensus. That seed is useless. You know what? Keep the cup. Good luck getting those fish to swim.
I think society's at a point where we should stop freezing eggs and start freezing brain cells.
Yeah, like, you know who's not going to stop climate change, immigration, Israel, Palestine, wasteful food, housing, all this bread and more than raising education? More dummies! You know who might? Fish swimmer. That guy. Glasses. This girl. Sensual toucher. Not now. You're done. You're useless. I mean, like 9 years ago, like pre-iPhone era sensual toucher. God, I miss those sweet and sour tasted brain cells. Should have freezed you guys. No, but I do blame the iPhone. They gave the dumbest people access to the smartest technology. Having an iPhone is like going to the library every day and only using the bathroom. I know all the information's here, but I'm too preoccupied with my own shit. I'm checked out, and I'm not checking anything out. I'm skimming these tweets, I'm skimming on toilet paper, I'm not getting shit done, except for this one shit, and I'm almost done. That's a clap, that's great. Thank you, one clap. Appreciate that.
Thanks for not laughing at that one lady on her phone.
I'm taking pictures of you.
Please don't do that. I don't want anyone to know I was here with you.
I was my grandparents earlier, just visited them. So what the hell are you doing? Alright. You wanna get that? Alright, well, just talk over my dreams, that's cool. Whatever. Wow. Can I just do my, I want to talk about my grandparents, is that okay? Is that a problem for you? What do you guys, what do you think? You want to shut up or you want to hear my jokes? And we talk about I thought you would say that. I thought you would. I mentioned my grandparents earlier. I just visited my grandparents, and they're getting there. Which is the first stage of death. I'm just gonna hold for death. Shut up, you guys. I feel like visiting your grandparents before they die is like visiting an art museum exhibit before it closes. You know what I mean? Like the visiting hours are always really inconvenient. You have to guilt somebody just to go with you. You're like, I know everyone remembers Grandpa's driving period, but he is doing a lot of interesting things right now with soup. I feel like the same reason no one visits their grandparents is the same reason artists aren't successful. You didn't think they were valuable until they died. Alright, first of all, I can make that joke because I visit my grandparents. And I'm unsuccessful as an artist. That's like a Halloween laugh. Six jokes that bombed. So, I play a lot of video games because, you know, look at me. I love playing World War II video games, but not as much as I love reading mean reviews about them. It's a lot of fun, everybody's mad at the wrong Nazis. Here's what I want to know. How can there be thousands of negative reviews for Call of Duty and not a single one that just says, you know, I'm starting to think that this war wasn't originally meant to be fun.
Yeah, I think I remember my grandpa dying in one of these.
Like, do you have any idea how amazing you have to be to make interactive trauma enjoyable? Okay, an altar boy in the Catholic Church is never going to be like, hey, I just got this great idea for a video game. Really? You should tell Father O'Reilly about it. I don't think that's a good idea.
All right, what are you gonna call it?
Super child molester. You guys, comedy is all about taking power away from the Catholic Church. I don't know if you know that's why we're all here, but it is.
See, that guy clapped for the right reason. That video game's the closest we're gonna get to seeing a priest in handcuffs.
I don't care, I don't like police, I'll make fun of police.
A lot of police get accused of being racist, and that bothers me, but that's not the reason why, why shouldn't I say that? Like, I don't hate cops, but I hate undercover cops. Because they're paid to pretend they're not at work. Like, they're hired for the same reason everyone's fired. Exactly, that's not fair. All of us here, we we all want to pretend we're not at work, okay? I'm doing that right now, making barely any money doing it. Because comedians, like, we have to fake it until we make it, and undercover cops have to do nothing until they die.
Excuse me, officer, what exactly do you do?
Not what I'm supposed to. Can you imagine, like, if being great at your job just meant not doing it?
Like, if you were a parent and you got separated from your kid and somebody was just like, "Excuse me, sir? Are you this little boy's father?"
I don't know that boy. Hey, anybody could be a father, but it takes a real man to avoid being a dad.
That's alright, I'm performing here. I'm not doing anything important. That's okay. I'm just entirely sure I know. Doesn't matter. There we go. Thank you, Clap. Appreciate the support. Yeah.
I had some difficult news last week. My mom called me to tell me she's selling the house that I grew up in. Anybody go through that one?
Right now.
Yeah, it's upsetting. I think people hate losing their childhood home because they know none of their childhood problems are going away with it.
That's all that is. That house will live on forever like a crime scene where nobody got arrested. Like, if the people moving in went to my bedroom, they just see like a chalk outline
Of a Jew in high school who nobody had sex with.
just be like a whole police investigation to get like the fat detective from NYPD Blue. What was his name? Andy Sipowicz? He's just there briefing everybody like,
Gentlemen, notice the blue contusions around the victim's right testicle? Clearly, this little boy died of blue balls.
And then like the rookie cop would barge in.
Detective, you're gonna come see this. We just found lots of bad poetry. At one point, he rhymed chants with dance. We tried to bring the parents in for questioning, but they moved. They all moved.
Let that be a lesson, Dangerfields, okay? You don't need to kill somebody to ruin their life. You can just give birth to them. See, I like you guys because you're a pro-life audience. That's what I appreciate about all of you.
Thank you, guys. Is this a sports crowd? You guys watch a lot of sports ball? Sports ball? Yeah. Not me, man. Probably tell because I called it sports ball. My entire life, like, I never watched sports. I never followed any teams or athletes. And
I get asked all the time, like, how do you even talk to people?
I'm like, talk to people? You don't need to know anything about professional sports to hold a conversation about disappointment.
Nobody's happy with their team.
Sports is all disappointment. All right, you don't need ESPN2 if you're on the DSM-4, okay? I don't know about standings, but I know about misunderstandings.
Talk to anyone watching a game, they always sound like they're in an abusive relationship. I'm like, hey, how are they playing this week? They're like, you know, the Bills are behaving pretty well tonight, but still doesn't make up for the past 17 years. Because you know what? Teams don't lose. What do? They upset. You ever been to a baseball stadium? It's like a battered women's shelter. Everybody's covering their face and emotionally eating.
They're hiding behind hats and sunglasses like their Lifetime movie channel husband just gave them a shiner.
Nobody makes more excuses for men who don't love them than sports fans and battered women. Hear me out. They're always like, listen, they might be bums now. But you didn't know them back in '07. You weren't there. It was a different time.
It's all a disappointment. I'm not gonna watch the Super Bowl this Sunday, right? You know why? Because it ends the same every year. You know how?
Patriots will win.
No, you're wrong.
Oh, jeez.
Doesn't matter who wins. The ending is always the same. The outcome every single year. You know what it is? Sad men covered in confetti.
Same disappointment, little more expensive. I like how this guy covered his face. You're in a you're paying money to actually laugh publicly out loud. You are losing money. You look Jewish too, so not a good investment. The subject, an adult invited me to the circus. It's true.
She said she never went as a kid because she felt bad for the animals, but these ones are all domesticated. I'm like, none of the animals know they're at work. I don't think the horse and donkey enrolled in the same profit-sharing plan as the bearded lady. Alright? Pretty sure the llama's not checking the mail at the end of the year for a W-2 form. Domesticated.
It's like someone trying to brag by saying, you know, I only use indoor slaves. Yep, all circus animals are slaves. You know, you can tell the guy in charge calls himself the ring master, and he has a whip. Sound familiar? Oh yeah, and he builds pyramids out of people.
Yeah, guys, the circus is super racist, sorry. Ever see clown makeup? It's pretty much white blackface. Alright, I'm sorry, is the Jew not allowed to make a slave analogy? Is that the problem that's going on there? Alright, I'll switch to something more topical.
Last week the big news was that pedophilia bankrupted the Boy Scouts. You guys hear about this?
I saw that and my first thought was, wow, kids are expensive.
Happy Ash Wednesday, everybody, by the way.
You know what, I'm not surprised pedophilia bankrupted the Boy Scouts. Like, think about it. The only people that can afford to do it are Jeffrey Epstein and the Catholic Church. You think you can afford
to diddle little kids on a pine cone decorator's salary?
Like I said, you guys, comedy is all about taking power away from the Catholic Church. Thank you.
People talking over my dreams, how we doing? Good.
I feel like this is exactly why comedy is nothing like therapy.
What are you guys talking about? I am the mayor. My first order, stop talking during the show.
See some of you getting your bills, a little distracted, you know,
No one do math there. No one pay the bills I get off stage. These are the rules.
You know, I'm not a comedian, I'm just a Jew who magically appears in a room, argues over money.
Are you doing your bill or are you just being obnoxious? Happy brunch tomorrow, Gabby. Cheers to brunch. Brunch is on the way. We're here in a basement on a Friday night, but brunch is coming soon. Cheers to us. Let's ruin this comedy show and the $100 that everybody just had to spend to enjoy their fucking Friday night. Fuck your brunch. 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 Alright, security, guys. How scared were you a minute ago? There's no security at Broadway Comedy Club. It's not even, I don't think it's wheelchair accessible. I know you don't mind spending your parents' money, but everybody else spent their own money, and it's kind of a big deal for them to be out on a Friday night.
Yeah, here's a story I would tell my therapist if I could afford one. I'm trying to do more confessional comedy, not because I want to overshare, but just because I want to confess to things I should have gotten arrested for.
And this is true. In high school, I dated a girl with obsessive compulsive disorder. What's that like? Oh, it's great. Every time you get one blowjob, you get exactly 9 blowjobs. Nah, that's not true. It was an even number of blowjobs.
She didn't have OCD with numbers. It was with symmetry. So what does that mean? It means you just get one very thorough 7-hour blowjob.
No, she never blew me. Didn't happen. But because she had OCD with symmetry, when you hugged her, you had to place pressure evenly on each side of her back.
And if you did it wrong, she'd keep you hostage in the hug until you got it exactly right.
She is like the special needs character from A Mice and Men if he didn't have the strength to smother any bunny rabbits to death. You know what I mean? Like, it's not real affection. Like, the hug's real, but the emotion's not.
And I took her out to dinner one night, and we're walking outside the restaurant, and some guy getting out of his car slams open his door and hits her in the back. And I just hear this. You alright?
Instead of saying, I'm not alright, she says, quick, punch me in the right side of my back. So I say, no. And then she says,
punch me as hard as you can. So I say, no. And then she starts doing this. Ow, ow, ow. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Ow, I can't believe you're out. You're making me do this. Ow, ow, ow,
ow, you fucking asshole. Ow, ow, ow. I'm like, please, please just stop. Please stop.
Alright, fuck it, I'll do it, fine, I'll do it. And she leans into me out in the middle of the street waiting for me to punch her. I'm like, I'm not gonna do it here in public. Alright, we're gonna do it in private like a normal person who beats up their girlfriend. We go back to her place and I've never punched anyone in my life. I'm practicing for an hour on one of her pillows. She's giving me notes. I'm doing these like Jackie Chan karate moves. I think I saw them at the DVD extra once. Like, I'm so terrified that I'm not going to be able to commit to the punch. Because it's got to be perfect. Like, it's got to be exactly right.
So I fucking clocked the shit out of this bitch. I Street Fighter Haruken the shit out of the right side of her back. And then she says, ow. That was way harder than I thought you were gonna do it. Punch me in the left side.
So I'm like, well, you've been great. No, I actually took that girl to prom that year. That's how that story ended. This is a very elaborate proposal.
That's true. I just want to say, in all seriousness, you know, you hear a lot of women in abusive relationships say, you know, he only beats me because he loves me. And that's terrible. It's absolutely not true, unless it's me.
I definitely spooked out this group of young girls. That's for sure. I look mortified. That's the first time I spooked out somebody my age. Wow. This is bad. Don't worry, I don't have a van. There's no place to go after this. You can go to my mom's couch if you want. There's no candy. Anyways.
I'm in a good mood. I've had a lot of personal growth recently, you guys.
A lot of personal growth. How do I know? Thank you for asking. Because I watched Forrest Gump, and for the first time, never felt threatened or jealous by a wildly more successful mentally disabled person. It was like the opposite. Like I watched the ending where Jenny dies and Forrest is a single father. Spoiler alert. And Forrest makes his son sandwiches,
They play ping pong together. He reads his kid bedtime stories. And I just thought to myself, I wish my dad was retarded.
I love my dad, I just wish he was a little retarded. You know?
Come on, that side. I love my dad. Just at the moment, you know, just at the moment, I wish he was retarded. You know, he was burdened by basic intelligence. He knew just enough to divorce my mom.
Aw, are you divorced? Then shut the fuck up. Where are the divorced people out in the audience? Where are you guys? Oh, wow, okay. Alright. Bullshit. Alright, so we got someone masking his sadness in the back alone.
And one sad girl sandwiched between a lumberjack and the person who does her fingernails.
And just a room full of well-adjusted
young people at a gay bar.
Mexican restaurant.
A comedy club for some reason.
Great. I too, I'm also a product of divorce. My parents have been divorced for 22 years. That's how you know it's a great product.
Like, a brand new washing machine will never last as long as my parents' marriage didn't.
This is true. Up until this month, my mom, my entire life, hated my dad. Always hated him. I asked her the other day, like, this is absolutely true. What changed? Like, what's different now? And then she actually said this to me.
Well, your father just got a second divorce. Alright, that means there's a buffer wife. Once he had a buffer wife, changes everything.
Buffer wife, happy life.
Like, that's it? All my dad needed to do was sleep with more people who hate him. That's...
So I was holding back my entire childhood. Could he upset enough women with his penis to fix all my other childhood problems? Like, the more sex my dad has, the less difficult my life is.
Just like, well, that's weird. I haven't had an anxiety attack all month. My dad must be really giving some girl the business.
And like all my Jewiness just starts slowly fading away like the Marty McFly photograph in Back to the Future. I don't feel the need to argue over money or worry about death. I think my dad has chlamydia.
Well, you can't put a premium on your child's happiness. Chlamydia dad, child glad.
Just broke the mic stand. I'm gonna put this right here.
It's in.
You don't need it, you're good.
I feel like this microphone just divorced me.
Would you like to hold this for the entirety of the show, miss? This is the rose ceremony portion of the comedy show. You get a mic stand. And
What was that? Is it all downhill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You have good hearing.
You are very drunk and loud. Everybody in this room has ear holes, so they cannot listen to a comedy show.
I like how you just slapped your knee instead of laughing out loud. Like you didn't know how your mouth worked.
Oh my god. I sense a few of you disliked me immediately, and I think, you know what I think it's because like I'm a millennial, and like calling yourself a millennial is really just like calling yourself Generation Dick Pic.
we invented dick pics. We're the Thomas Edisons of dick pics.
Personally, I don't take glamour shots of my penis, but I did once. And that is not something you say if it went well. Alright, that's something you say if it fell off. That's like the end of a ghost story.
And he was never seen on camera again. So I'm going to talk to you guys tonight about the last and only time that my penis was camera ready. All right.
We're doing this. Okay.
After the show, sir. Actually, no, I lied. No, not you. No way. Alright, so here it goes. I used to be into this aggressive girl. Very forward person. She just straight up texted me one night.
Where are those dick pics at? That's not a reasonable request, okay? Alright, Rite and Walgreens don't have 1 hour dick photo departments. No one's ever like, hey,
how do you want your dick? 5 by 7?
8 by 11?
glossy, non-glossy,
collated, sepia tone. So listen, like, I don't do it, okay? I took the picture.
I didn't send it because I realized that my penis close-up on an iPhone, it looks like Godzilla free-falling on a small city made out of tiles, pubic hair, and Dixie cups. I don't say Godzilla because it's something that's big.
I say it because it's something that's dying. It's not supposed to look like that. That's the greatest laugh I've ever heard in all my years of comedy. Did that come from a person? So let's skip forward to the weekend. It's dude's night out. I'm out drinking with my friends. A buddy of mine borrows my phone, starts going through my pictures, sees it, and he actually said this to me. Hey, is this your dick? I'm like, no, it's the guy that cuts my hair's dick. Of course it's my dick. Of course it is. And then I think that it hurt his feelings a little bit because the next thing he said to me was, well, I'm gonna post it as your status update on Facebook.
And I see him open the app and select the picture. So I start panicking. I immediately lunge at him. We're wrestling. He's waving my phone around, playing keep away from my face. He's essentially teasing me with my own dick.
My own dick, you guys.
But at the end of the day, he is my friend. He's a good guy. He gives me my phone back. That's why he's my friend. 20 minutes go by.
Phone vibrates. It's a text from my dad.
Facebook post, question mark? Pretty cryptic message, not sure what that's about.
I log on Facebook and I see a status update made by me 20 minutes ago of what appears to be a
mythological Japanese dinosaur plummeting to his death.
That, or just, you know, an average 28-year-old penis. Just a normal...
It's a normal 28-year-old penis with no likes. With no likes and no shares. So here's what happened. While I was swatting to get my phone back, I accidentally swatted the post button on my phone. I'm calling it a SWAT post if you want to contribute to UrbanDictionary.com later.
So now I have to explain this to my dad. Meanwhile, all my friends at the bar, they're already getting texts about it. Like, hey, a friend Jeremy, blah, blah, blah.
Penis emoji, blah, blah, Facebook.
So, you guys in for a special treat. I had the text exchange I had with my father the night I posted my penis on Facebook. Yeah. You guys ready to hear it?
Yeah. This guy's too excited, that's all. Alright, we're doing this. This is way too vulnerable.
Alright, dick pic text to my father, chapter 1. I text my dad.
My friend stole my phone and posted my dick pic. That is a concise explanation, Dangerfields. You should be very impressed with that. My dad's text.
Is it off now? You could get fired from work. Hadn't thought about that yet. Haven't gotten that far. My text.
It's gone now. Hopefully Grandma didn't see it. My dad responds with LOL. It comes in for a second and then goes black. And then below that, he attaches a screenshot of my own dick. Could have taken his word for it, not really necessary. So now at this point, I'm in crisis mode, and it's just me, my father, and my penis in this thing together.
My text, is it gone? Dad's text, checking, still flashes for a second. Not sure if the bat caught that. My dad's now alone in front of his computer hitting the refresh button on my penis. Over and over again. Another text from my dad.
You know, Anthony Weiner lost the mayoral election because of this. I don't know what election my dad had planned for me, but I like that I have the specific reference point for the moment that I became a disappointment.
Another text from my dad. Oh, this is really sweet, you guys. It says, "Are you okay? I had to tell your brother, ... no one else." Didn't have to do that.
And then this is the last text. It's for me, and it just says, "Yeah, I'm sure it'll all blow over eventually."
Don't fucking all. I mean, like you're volunteering at a soup kitchen on your Saturday night. Getting wasted at a comedy club. Don't awe. See, guys, this is why comedy is nothing like therapy. You know what I mean? Like a therapist would never say to you, "Hey, you know, I hear all your problems and I don't like any of them." My name is Jeremy Schaftel. I am a Jew. Thank you for coming to my bar mitzvah.
Thank you, miss, for the tepid clapter.
Thank you for making this nothing like therapy.
Thank you guys for being a pro-life audience.
Thank you for the one clap I got at the end.
Thank you for coming to Robbie's haunted gay Russian bathhouse. Thanks for listening. I'm sure it'll all blow over eventually.
Jeremy Schaftel. Come on to Jeremy, y'all. Give it up to Jeremy.
Guys, give it over to Jeremy Schaftel, everybody.
Alright. Since the set is unusable as a videotape, I'm going to end